You fucking thing.
Oh no.
America.
I should have pulled it up first. I gotta wait for the ad to finish. Fucking thing. That's on me. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Smartmark Wrasslin Radio.
That's some good shit.
Oh man, that's some good shit. Welcome to the show, everybody. It has been a minute since we've done this show. I'm Derek on TSP. Yeah, it's been a bit. I'm Derek on TSPN on the Twitter. At Huds Magruder on the Twitter. At Dkatz on the Twitter. Gentlemen, how are you guys doing?
Rocking and rolling, man.
It's been a little bit.
It has.
It's been a little bit since we've done a show, but I'm ready to go. I'm gearing. Dusty is at an Anaheim Angels hat.
It is a Limp Bizkit hat.
Oh. But is there a team? Oh, it's a Yankees hat. Wow, okay.
America's team.
No, Limp Bizkit, bro. I'm limping with a biscuit.
All right. A little Wolfpack theme for us. I thought that'd be fun. I thought it'd be. We got the Wolfpack back, baby.
I might end up in a body bag.
It has been a minute since I even watched any of the live events. I did watch some of. I did a recap of last night's Dynamite. Mostly because I saw that Zack Ryder debut and I wanted to see how it went. Apparently, it was kind of a bummer. Like, it sucks to debut. Cool. Sucks to debut right now, right? Like, there's no fans. So, like,
yeah. So, am I over or am I not?
Yeah.
And we get Warhorse too last night?
Yep, Warhorse was also on there.
Warhorse, which is interesting. It's interesting to see an indie guy. I love that they do that. I also saw.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's awesome. I
want to see David Arquette next.
Sure.
David Arquette would be cool.
Yeah, why not? They also had I didn't watch it, but I saw that Heath Slater is be challenging for the Impact title. Is that what I saw?
I have no idea about Impact.
Which is fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's fun stuff. WWE is interesting. I do, again, just doing recaps. Have not been watching any of the live shows. I have not been watching any wrestling recently, which is tough for a wrestling show.
Yeah.
But we're all about those top fives, baby. Oh, which, by the way, tonight on the show we will be doing our top 5 worst, or at least least favorite, lady wrestlers.
I went with worst on mine, so
I did too.
Yeah.
Well, I went with. I mean, I always say it's a combo.
Sure.
Like worst / least favorite. I told Chris before the show started, one of my honorable mentions for best is actually in the top 5 for worst.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's fun. And then, Dusty, are you doing Wrestler L for the evening?
Am I doing Wrestler L?
We weren't sure. But Chris said he could pull stuff up like right now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see what Chris has to come up with.
Okay.
But if you really need it, I got an idea.
Well, because if I go L, I'm going.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like it.
Lita.
I mean, the shows are all kind of. I think it's more interesting to talk about the news. It sounds like SummerSlam might be on a cruise ship,
which is cool.
I think it's awesome.
I think it's great. Can I wrote some notes down. Do you want me to just go through really fast?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
This is what I've written down for. So I watched like 10 hours of wrestling, like on Monday, and got caught up as much as I could. This is everything I wrote down. Jericho versus Orange Cassidy was great.
It was good.
The Elite versus Jurassic Express was great. When they dropped the juice on Jericho, that was fucking cool, and I loved it. I'm sure Randy Isbell hates it, and Jim Cornette hates it, but I thought it was so awesome. This jacket's $7,000. I loved it. Brian Cage using the torture rack turned me on.
Yeah, well, we've talked about that as a finisher, right? As a submission move. I'm glad somebody's using it. It's a good move. We were just talking about how that is such a great move and somebody should be using it.
Yeah, absolutely. Dexter Lumis was the only thing on NXT that I watched because I don't give a shit about any of it. But Dexter Lumis is awesome. And then I also wrote, with so much wrestling, I've become picky with who I get behind. So if there's somebody I think is pretty good, I'm probably not going to get behind him just because there's so much wrestling. Yeah. So I've become really picky with what I mark out about. And also, I'm excited to see what they do with Asuka and Sasha and Bayley and Nikki Cross, that whole quadrant triangle.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested.
Sasha is the women's champion now, right? She did win.
Technically, yes. Technically Legitimately, I would say no. Technically, yes.
Yeah. And then also, I also liked, what's the guy? Keith, the big guy in NXT.
Yes, Keith Lee.
Keith Lee relinquishing the mid-card belt.
North American, yep.
Yeah, to give more opportunities to other NXT guys. I like the story. It makes sense.
It was either he relinquishes it or Triple H makes him drop it. And you would look better on TV if Triple H didn't take your shit away from you.
Right, and I think Keith Lee is absolutely the future of that.
Man.
He's so good.
I'll say this. He's what Mark Henry and Booker T wishes they could be.
Yeah, and it is like a combo Mark Henry, Booker T, like, style, too, which is...
Yeah.
Because he's a big boy, but he's not like... He's not incredible. I mean, he's way more agile than somebody like Bobby Lashley or, some of those big guys that you should be more agile. I don't know. I think Keith Lee's great.
I love him. And I think Adam Cole had a lot of class in that match, too. I think that was a really classy match. They both respected each other. They both made each other look good. It was it's what you want to see. It's what you want to see when a title gets switched, you know?
Yeah, It was awesome. I mean, Adam Cole was the champion for goddamn ever.
It's like 400 some odd days.
So I was
incredible.
And I was pretty surprised that, honestly, I wasn't sure he was going to drop it to Keith. I honestly didn't. I did not.
Yeah.
But boy, it happened.
If it weren't for that leak, though, that Muhammad Al-Shabab or whatever his name is, he leaked that. I don't know. It's like, you pick a name. Dave. His name is not Dave.
Shabab.
I'm gonna get in trouble for that one, but
are they because they're talking about doing a Saudi show, right?
Oh, I don't know, but he leaked the ending of the Great American Bash.
True, yeah, I did.
So
see
everyone knew Keith was gonna go over.
But I did. Yeah. I saw your Muhammad Shabab stuff reminded me that I saw online that they're talking about doing a Saudi show before the end of the year, which seems like such a fucking terrible idea.
Yeah. Well, what Chris was talking about earlier, you only make those kind of quarterly profits by doing one thing, and that's
it's true.
Finding a prince or royalty or a noble. And
were we on the air for that, Chris? Do you want to tell? I don't think we were. Do you want to say how much they made, how much they thought they were going to make, and how? What were they projected for, and what did they get?
They were projecting like 11 million, maybe 12.3, somewhere between 11.5 and 12.3, and their quarterly earnings were 43.8 million.
That's nuts, dude.
That's so far past what they assumed they were going to make.
And it's still less than what they normally would get because obviously ticket sales and other stuff. But, I mean, the pay cut, the personnel cuts kind of make some sense now, huh?
It says here this quarter numbers were not affected by main roster purges. They are continuing to be paid until 7/17, and these results ended in 6/30. So the profits were high before the cuts. So if that continues, then next quarter should be huge, and we should all buy some stock.
pretty nuts.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
think about it. They're the only sports program. They were the only sports program worth any salt for since February
until this week, until this and last week. I mean, baseball started.
Yeah, until baseball.
Baseball started last week, and basketball started officially today. So, and WNBA started like officially yesterday or today.
What?
Dude, WNBA is getting some speed.
I don't even know what that is. The Warner Brothers Wrestling
women's basketball. It's fun. It's good to watch, man.
I actually do enjoy it. I'm just poking you.
Seattle Storm. With the way basketball's changed, where they're shooting all those threes now, it's pretty similar, really.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that
women
kind of basketball better.
For their weaker knees.
That's right.
At all.
And their small brains. It's just science.
Oh no, it's just the knees, not the brains.
Just the knees.
I don't think there's any problem.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's impressive what wrestling is doing right now. I still think it's awesome that there's so many options. I will say that for one of the things that I watched a few clips from last night's show from Dynamite. One of the things that was making the show great was affected last night, and that was they had less people at the ringside, and they were like kind of far apart from each other, because they had the outbreaks, So now they have to like really actually respect the COVID-19 protocols. So it was less people on the sidelines, and it definitely hurt. I think the reason why it's been stronger over the last few weeks, though, or the last few months, is because they've had that crowd, and it was like, man, if AEW wouldn't have had that crowd for the entire year, basically, of their own people, you got to wonder where they would have gone. They might have
worked.
Yeah, they might have went under, because the crowd really helped.
It did, but still, I think that I would have preferred the programming over WWE.
I mean, the wrestling is much better.
I still think I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, man, I gotta tell you, I'm still really freaking depressed since Extreme Rules, man. The past 3 weeks have just been a slog for me.
Yeah.
Just because Asuka's getting her butt screwed and Kairi's gone, and
yeah. Well, and then I hated the whole angle with Rollins and Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah, what the hell?
I'm so over it,
and they're still trying to take people's eyeballs out. Did you see that?
Yeah,
somebody was trying to do it.
I remember seeing something about that. I didn't actually watch it,
bro.
Well, Rollins did this bit where he does this thing where he put like Rey Mysterio's
head, wasn't it?
Yeah, he puts first starters he put Rey Mysterio's head up against like the steel steps and like stomps him or hurts his eye or whatever. And so like they just keep going back and forth while trying to take each other's eye. I don't know, it's stupid.
I wanted to see him gouge his actual eye out. That would have been cool, but
yeah,
he didn't give it to me.
Now Drew's got somebody else now. Is it Randy? Is Randy Orton going against Drew?
Yes, that is going to be a really cool SummerSlam match, man.
Now I like that. Drew, I don't think any of us thought that Drew McIntyre was going to drop that or lose to Dolph Ziggler. Like that
no,
not
but
it
was actually a good match, though.
I did rewatch. I went back and watched it. It was a good match.
Yeah, it was a great card until Asuka lost the belt, and it just kind of went downhill from there. The swamp fight was kind of lame.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's better to come. We're kind of sitting in the wet laundry of wrestling right now. As far as
is it ever good this time of year?
Like, well,
really? It's always kind of a
Hulk Hogan and The Rock SummerSlam.
Yeah,
I mean SummerSlam's fantastic, but June, July is always a little bit of a
yeah. No, you're right. I agree.
You've got WrestleManias like the end of March, beginning of April, and then after that, it's kind of like, oh, let's get all the new stuff started so SummerSlam doesn't blow. And
yeah, you throw in Money in the Bank, that usually helps. And then, I mean, because it used to be the big four, and then I would kind of put Money in the Bank as like a second wave of pay-per-view. Like Like you go like the big four, and then like you go, Money in the Bank is like a second wave of okay ones. I'd say Extreme Rules used to be a second wave of the
ECW stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and then Elimination Chamber was kind of like that second wave of like okay ones, and then there's like the third wave, which is like Backlash and Payback and all those stupid ones. Fastlane,
Night of Champions.
Honestly, Night of Champions sucks. Night of Champions is always like 8 belts retained, 0 turnover.
Yeah, it's bullshit, dude. It's
garbage.
That'd be something to look at. I wonder if anybody's ever lost a belt at Night of Champions.
Well, a lot of times they're non-title, and it's just champion versus champion, and that's kind of boring.
That's a waste.
Oh, that's right. They do that at Night of Champions. They
go
Raw versus SmackDown. For no title.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the best matches that has come out of that was, I actually genuinely loved the Daniel Bryan and Brock Lesnar match when it was champion versus champion, and that was when Daniel Bryan first won it, and he was doing he was still kind of like mid-ground, like heel face.
Right.
He hadn't gone full hemp belt yet, but he had just kicked. He had just kicked AJ in the nuts to win the belt, so I was like, is he a heel then? I don't know. Whatever. Dude, there's so much wrestling.
Let's talk about what we're excited for in the future and move on, because I'm excited for these segments like you are, Derek.
I think Drew and Orton's going to be awesome.
Drew and Orton?
Yeah. Orton's had a lot of interviews and tweets lately, and he's really grown up.
Yeah,
and it's a shame that he didn't do it earlier.
Yeah,
and he even said on one thing, he was talking about how he's found this. He used to hate promos, and he's like, now I'm kind of really into him, and I wish I would have gotten into him sooner. Maybe I would have had a better run. And I think Orton's in the running for possibly best of all time. He's up there with Triple H and Angle.
If Orton's in the title match, it's like Orton to me is like old reliable. Like you just know.
Yeah.
You can throw him in. You can throw him in a title match, and you're like, this will be all right at the very least. It'll be good, if mostly, and it could be great. Like he's not super fast.
He's an '89 S10, man. As long as you change the oil, he'll keep going and going and going and going.
He's super reliable. He has some of the best. Some of his move sets are still some of the best moves I've ever seen.
Crisp, every match from his 20s on.
Yeah.
I think he's my age. And
what I love about him most is how when somebody botches in the ring with him, how he gets real pissed. You can tell when if you fuck up, you can tell with Randy Orton, because he takes it so serious, and I think it is because he is perfect.
Yeah.
He's
probably had 2 or 3 mistakes that I've seen in 20 years.
He botches rarely.
Yeah.
So
I'm old school loving Randy Orton. I've teased him. I used to call him Blandy Borton, the Apex Predator. But it's out of love. I mostly say that because my friend Jared, that's his favorite modern wrestler is Randy Orton, and so I used to tease that all the time. When Daniel Bryan was in the beginning of the Yes Movement, and then Randy Orton was like the authority guy. Man, they had a great back and forth. I thought Randy and Daniel Bryan was a great a rivalry. I thought it was fun.
You remember that hardcore match against Mick Foley? I think it was 2003, maybe 2004.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I remember that.
He ended up. He had thumbtacks all up in his elbows and stuff.
Elbow pad. I remember that.
That's when I became a Randy Orton fan.
That's the Legend Killer stuff. The Legend Killer days. Yeah. No, what I'm excited for the future. First off, I'm excited for. I am excited for SummerSlam. I do think Drew McIntyre and him are going to put on a great match. I still want to see more for Bray Wyatt. But I'm still excited for him for the future because I don't think they've forgotten about him. I think he's still somebody who they're looking to. Because I still think if there was a crowd right now, Bray Wyatt would be over as fuck.
Yeah, he would be, man. I agree, man. Bray Wyatt is he's got the coolest character in the WWE right now.
Yeah, he killed it.
Hands down. He's the new Undertaker, man.
He is.
Like I said, they should make him the dead man. They should make him the new dead man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him or Aleister Black. Either one.
Oh,
Aleister Black. Take that power from the Undertaker.
Be so cool.
And make it
Aleister Black would be so cool.
Aleister Black would be great.
I love that fixture.
If Undertaker does one more match, I'd like it to be with Aleister Black because he's young and agile, and he'd put Undertaker over with all of his issues, and that would actually be a lovely passing of the torch. It really would.
Yeah, man.
And they should do it at Survivor Series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to be excited for the future. I'm mostly excited for crowds to come back.
Yeah.
We need fans.
Don't hold your breath.
I know, it might take a little bit. Should we do some top fives?
Let's do some top fives.
Top fives. Tonight we're doing top 5 worst or least favorite. It depends.
I guess this is the bottom 5.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we could start saying bottom. But I'm wondering how much crossover we have. We might have a lot, but we might not. This is actually kind of a diverse list, actually.
I know somebody that's on all of our lists.
Oh, I'm sure I do too. I'll go first. I haven't gone first in a while.
Okay, go ahead.
My number 5, I don't have any honorable mentions this week. My number 5, though, was an honorable mention for best woman wrestlers, though. She's my top 5 worst, though, because while she is a trailblazer, I don't think she was ever a great wrestler. Number 5 is Sable.
Yeah. I don't think she was either. With the exception of that Sable Bomb, I like that finisher. But otherwise,
I think she...
I mean, and she Sable bombed Mark Marrow, which was great. Yeah. But she was in my top 5 because I also do think she was like a trendsetter. She was kind of a trailblazer. She's kind of in it from the beginning, like she's like the Steve Jobs, like she was there,
She was there at the start of the women's revolution.
Yeah.
After the 80s.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Number 4, Carmella. Not into it. I've never been into it. I don't get the gimmick. It's not funny. I don't get it. Is she a heel? Is she a face? She doesn't have a great move set. They haven't put her with, and the only time I've ever liked her is when in NXT is when they put her with the what's the 2 New York guys that I also don't like. Big Cass.
Something worldwide.
It was like Big Cass and fucking, I can't think of their names, but they're garbage. But she was okay. She was like a valet with them. She was like she's like a hairdresser from Queens, and they're both from like New York too. And it was like a thing. I just don't get it. Honestly, it was tough between her and like Rusev's wife, like Lana.
Yeah.
She's doing like this thing now. Lana is doing this thing where she has like really dark hair and her makeup's so dark that it's like borderline blackface.
Yeah, she totally is pulling that.
It's hard to watch. I didn't throw Lana on there on my list because I don't ever think about her until I see a picture of her and then I'm like, she's blackface. Okay, so number 3 is a tie. The Bellas. Never been a fan. For one thing, I hate how vocal they are when they wrestle. It's so annoying. They're always like yelling, and it's like bad porn. Like it's just bad porn. It's bad.
It's like watching tennis.
It's like, ladies, stop that.
And then when they both got like a little singles thing for a little while. They both pushed them both like singles for a little bit. Like Nikki Bella was like, her finish move was like a torture rack, but then she like fell to her own knees Like, it didn't make sense. Like, who's hurt by that? Like, it doesn't make sense. And then Brie Bella got
killing
this,
the fucking business, girl.
right. And then Brie Bella got this push where she was like, it was like Brie mode, like beast mode, like Brie mode. I was like, fuck you, that's stupid. They suck. But also way overexposed. They were on Total Divas and then Total Bellas that had their own shit. Like, I don't care. I don't care who you let inside you. You're not an interesting person to me. It's not interesting to me.
I don't care how many times John Cena came on your face.
Right. Number 2, Nia Jax.
Holy shit.
It explains.
Woo!
Nia Jax is bad.
Nia Jax.
Yeah.
You don't like her, huh?
Not a fan.
Okay. I think she's capable. I think she's capable.
She's a fan of the show.
She's had good moments and dare I say good matches every once in a while.
I want her to.
I'm not saying she's the worst.
I want her to go back and actually get trained. Let's do some training.
Some
Let's
NXT stuff.
Here's how to do this a little more safely.
Right.
I get that it's not a safe sport, but you could be more safe.
I like her character. I think her character's fine. I think the suit's weird. It's like a weird, like, gold dust suit. It's weird.
Yeah. It's an odd choice.
It's an odd choice. They put like these hip pads on her, and it looks like a Super Saiyan, but it's bad. She should be good though. She's a big girl. She's strong. Just do some developmental.
And she needs some charisma too.
Yeah. The reason why she's in the top 5 though is because she's almost ended careers and
that's kind of unacceptable. Yeah. I definitely have some people like that on my list.
Okay. My number 1 is Vicky Guerrera. 100% Vicky Guerrera. And by the way, she's on my top 5. I think I could put Vicky Guerrero on my top 5 most unwatchable people on TV. There was a while there when she
not just
was
wrestling, but TV.
When they had her in Power on TV, and she was in like every segment, where I was like, I'm not watching wrestling anymore.
They thought it was good heat, and it was not good heat.
It's not good heat. Just coming out and screaming into a microphone. Excuse me,
dude. When I went to SmackDown in Spokane, and Jesse Knight can back me up on this one. When she showed out in the wheelchair with the neck brace in Spokane, we booed her. I'm not shitting you. 10, 15 minutes. Like, the crew was getting pissed off at us. They're like, hey, does somebody want to tell this crowd we're trying to tape a show? We were not going to stop until that fucking bitch was out of the arena. Like, you couldn't. If somebody had gotten shot, you wouldn't have heard it. We were booing that loud at this moment. And they and I think Chavito was with her. And the fucking, I saw them start breaking character on the Titantron. Like, they started laughing because they were like, holy shit, look at this heat we got going. Because they knew they'd be taped. So, she was laughing, and it was great, man.
Yeah.
And finally they were able to get a little bit of something off, but we didn't let her have a word, man. She is the worst. She is the worst thing on television, man.
Well, so I'm glad you mentioned this story, because before we went on our little hiatus, what's her name in AEW, the transgender wrestler?
Yeah. Nyla Rose.
Nyla Rose said that she was going to have a manager, which I'm fine with it because she's not great on the mic. And then it ended up being Vicky Guerrero, and I was like, come on. I literally think I texted our group chat, and I said, if she is on TV too much, I will not watch AEW anymore. I will be done. Now, luckily, she's a valet. She's a manager. So she's only going to be on during Nyla Rose segments. The problem with when she was on WWE is they gave her, like, she was like the general manager position.
Yeah.
And I
had
hated
authority.
I hated her stuff with Edge. I hated her stuff with Dolph Ziggler. I hated every minute of that. for one thing, so first off, I think anybody who watches the show is no stranger to my dislike of romantic storylines on wrestling.
Yeah,
not a fan. I've never liked it. It's boring. It's stupid. I don't care. That's what people, when they watch wrestling and they go, isn't it like a soap opera?
Excuse me.
Yeah, they see stuff.
She screams that when she.
That's annoying.
Excuse me, she's coming. Excuse me.
Eyes rolling around in her head.
I don't know. I
Sorry.
The worst.
It's hard because I always when people find out I watch wrestling, who are just normal folk, it's hard to justify because when they tune in, they accidentally tune in during stuff like Vicky Guerrero, and then they go, "This idiot likes this."
Yeah, right.
Like, she hurts the argument for me to enjoy the show.
Yeah.
To other people.
Yeah.
So, Vicky Guerrero, number 1. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm feeling some vitriol coming from your abode there, Buzz.
She sucks, man.
Some real hatred.
Not.
Are you okay with Vicky? You okay with that?
I think I love her, but I agree with you that it is unwatchable.
Yeah.
It is unwatchable. I think I love her. Like, if I met Vicky Guerrero, we would go get a hamburger and fucking talk about Eddie.
I think she's okay in real life.
So,
I just think it's her TV character.
I love her.
Terrible.
So here's the thing, is when she's in interviews, like when she's talking about Eddie, and she's in documentaries when she's talking about Eddie.
Like the Chris Benoit.
Right. And when
Vice.
she actually seems like a really nice person.
Yeah. She
I
does,
just don't think
way too nice to be anywhere near wrestling.
I think what it is she doesn't have, she's talentless. And I don't mean like any harm to that. I mean like she doesn't have a real character. They were just like, hey, do something really annoying.
Just be the worst ever.
And so she's kind of shrill anyways. So then she goes out there and yells, and then she's shrill, and it's not good.
I don't like that.
Oh man, I think a part of me wants it there though. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's like cats mating on my fence. I don't need that on my television. And plus I live with 3 females. I hear that fucking shrill nonsense.
Cats fucking in a bag for 2 hours.
But there was a while there where when Nia Jax would get on the microphone and she'd scream into it, and it like peaked out in the stadium, and I was like, "Is Vicky back?"
It's not good for anybody.
It's Vicky. Stop. I agree with you, man. It's the worst. But a part of me is like, it's got to be there though. Like, I used to feel that way about Stephanie McMahon back in the day, but now when I watch it, I'm like, no, that had to be there, or I wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have suspended my disbelief if I didn't hate her so much. And now I look at that fondly.
And that, but I do wonder if some of my hatred is based on the fact that it was involved in romantic storylines too.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
because I do really hate those.
She had several.
Yeah.
Maybe we just got down to the root of it. It's because of Dolph and Vicky getting together like that just crossed the line.
And Edge and her as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Edge has too many romantic storylines.
He really
werewolf looking dude like him. Just.
Well, one of them was based in reality. The other one, I don't know where it came out of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that's what it is. She's shrill. Maybe it was a natural, real good heat. She was annoying. We were meant to hate her, so good job. But the other one was that it was like, I don't want to watch Edge and Vicky Guerrero making out before a Royal Rumble. I don't want to watch that.
It's like the hand. It's like the Mae Young giving birth to the hand. Like, I just don't want to see that.
Where did that idea come from?
Was it Triple H who had sex with the dead body? Who had sex with the dead body?
It was Triple H.
Triple H in a Kane mask.
Triple H and Kane.
Triple H in a Kane mask. Yep.
And he banged, what's her name? Where's Jesse Knight when you need him?
Katie Vick.
Katie Vick.
Maybe the worst angle ever done. And there's been some bad ones. There's been some bad ones. I'm sure that's That's got to be a.
It's bad.
Hold
it's
on.
super bad. You
Let's
can't
hold-
help but smile.
Let's hold on to that thought, though. I'm going to write that down because let's do best and worst angles.
Okay, yeah. So I already got all my top 5 already. If you want to do this one tonight, I don't know.
No. Let's hang on to that. Let's hang on to that because
write that shit down.
I want to put that together. I think that'll be our, because we're on worst. We're gonna have to have a new one for next week. Let's do best angles next week.
Yeah, and then the week after that we'll do Smartmark Wrasslin Radio goes Wrestle Crap, and we talk about the top 5 worst angles in professional wrestling history.
Absolutely. And I think we'll all have the same number 1.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Also, in my best angles, I might put Kurt Angle in there.
His whole career.
I might dad joke it.
That was more like a Catholic priest joke.
It was a little bit. All right, who wants to go next?
I can
Top
go.
5. Bottom 5.
Bottom
Go
5.
for it.
I got you.
Okay. Is this in any particular order, or is this in a Chris order?
It's a Chris order.
Okay.
Nia Jax, however she says it. I'm not going to go into that because we already went over her. But yeah, she's hurt too many people to not make the list.
Dangerous worker. It's hard to not put her in the top 5.
Jackie Gata. Do you remember her? I think she was second Tough Enough.
Wow.
She came in and ended up like being trailer park trash or something, was her angle with Jamie Noble. Just, she wasn't a worker. She wasn't.
No, that was Nydia. You're thinking of Nydia.
She wasn't very good either. But I don't remember what Jackie did. Probably because she was so bad. But her ring work was terrible.
That's the point. Yeah, yeah.
Cameron. You remember Cameron? Is she still wrestling?
No,
she
she's
was
not.
Just,
she was in the tag team. She was the Funkadactyl, right? She was with.
She was a Funkadactyl, and then decided to be a wrestler. And there was no reason she should have been
Alicia Fox. Or is
no. It was Cameron. She was the.
With the pom poms.
Yeah, she was with. What's her name? Trinity Fatu. I can't think of her actual. What's Trinity Fatu's wrestling name?
Oh, I don't remember what they called her.
The good one, the good wrestler.
Naomi?
Naomi. She was with Naomi. They were Funkadactyls for Sweet Tea and the other guy.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
This is my favorite female wrestler.
Aw. No, Cameron's a great choice. I actually watched
Xavier Woods.
I actually watched one of those seasons of. I watched some of the episodes of one of the seasons of Total Divas, and Cameron and Naomi were on one of those seasons, and Cameron was one of those ones that was like kind of there to get famous. Like she wasn't she had I don't think she had any desire to become like a good wrestler, which is sucky because Naomi is such a fantastic wrestler. Yeah. So you pair them up and it's like, oh, that's too bad.
I think that's why she makes the list, because she drug people down.
Yeah.
Not only was she a poor worker, but she just the product was lowered because she was a part of it.
Super hot though. That's why she. Yeah. I think that's why she got so popular. She was super. I mean, she didn't get popular, but popular to them. They gave her so many opportunities. I think she was just super hot.
Oh yeah. And speaking of super hot but not great, Kelly. I can't think of a Kelly match that I enjoyed watching. No. I loved her entrance. I loved watching her come to the ring. But as soon as that bell rang, it was like...
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like it was bad. It was just boring. Like, what? Come on. You're gorgeous.
Didn't tell a story. Didn't... man, that was a weird time for women's wrestling. That's Divas Wrestling, which was a hard time anyways.
Yeah, like AJ Lee is the best you got. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, like AJ Lee and Caitlyn were like the two best Divas wrestlers, with the exception of like the Glamazon Beth Phoenix, who I think is one of the best women's wrestlers ever.
And Gail Kim.
Gail Kim.
Gail Kim was in that.
Boy, slot. They squandered her though. They squandered her so bad though. Yeah.
Yeah, she was a phenomenal wrestler.
God, she should have been
Probably
great.
Still is. But I do have a number one, and the others were just kind of in there. But number one is the fabulous Moolah. She is one of the worst people who's ever been involved in anything, or at least publicly.
Yeah.
The way she treated women wrestlers, held women. She's the reason it took so long for women's wrestling to be taken seriously.
Yeah, if there's trailblazers, there's got to be an opposite of that, and that might have been the fabulous Moolah.
Yeah, she was planting kudzu while they were trying to cut down the forest or something. And that's a history like any wrestling fan should take a peek at, because there's still people who talk about how horrible she was.
Well, there was that. So they did like the Mae Young Classic, which is like a thing that is stuck now. I think they've done it a couple times. But then they tried doing like this Battle Royale, and they were going to call it like the Fabulous Moolah, like Battle Royale or whatever.
Right.
And it took, I think, 24 hours of Twitter to just destroy it before...
To shut it down.
Before they were like, it's never been called that. It never was the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal. It never was. It never was that. She's never been a wrestler. It's never been a thing.
She doesn't even exist. It's good shit.
Because they don't even show her on video packages now. Like, they don't even show her... Like, when they talk about Mae Young, which they had her run forever in the Attitude Era together. Like, they were like they were kind of the opposites of, like, the Stooges, right? Like, they were like Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe, where it was like the two of them like running around,
dude,
right?
Pat and Jerry are one of my favorite things.
I love Pat and Jerry.
Those old fuckers just
you remember
putting around.
Well, I remember they used to come out to
Patterson's weird ass French Canadian accent.
Remember Pat Patterson and Joe Briscoe used to come out to
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan's still in WCW at this point.
Yeah,
but they're
they
coming
came
out to Real American, and they're both doing the fucking thing, you know, flexing and stuff, and I mean, I think the Stooges was a great bit,
except maybe the skid marked tidy whities.
Yeah,
that was too far.
But it was funny. Still a good. Those guys together though were a great bit, and especially since you remember Shane at the same time Shane McMahon had his homies, his guys from like his frat basically.
Oh yeah, the Mean Street Posse.
Mean Street Posse, two no-namers
from the mean streets of Greenwich.
Right,
Greenwich,
going against Greenwich, mean streets of Greenwich, Connecticut, which I don't even know if exists.
Sweater vest wearing.
It's an incredibly rich suburb of New York City.
Right, and they're going against these two no-namers. Are going against like Hall of Famer quality, Jerry Briscoe and Pat Patterson. Pretty impressive. Honestly, I'd put that on my resume.
Pat Patterson's one of the greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, and Jared Briscoe didn't have any career to scoff at. Yeah, but when they show video packages for like Mae Young, man, that duo of her and the Fabulous Moolah never existed. Ever existed. They scrubbed that from everything.
Yeah.
That's funny. Good choice. I like it.
Yeah, she's a terrible one.
Okay, so I'm glad I'm going last because I got a fucking shitload.
What?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got 12. I got a dozen of these names.
Okay.
So, let's see. Vicky Guerrero is on the honorable mention. Charmel, Booker T's wife, honorable mention. Oksana, I don't know if you remember her. She's the one that kneed Naomi in the fucking eyeball and almost ended her career.
Yeah, and I think Oksana was. They had Oksana on there because she was like a bodybuilder. She won like some like bodybuilding contest or something. Yeah, like
big sweaty women.
Yeah. You know, Vince likes bodybuilders.
Brains.
I think she's like a lifter, though. Like she's yeah. Okay.
Right. I wrote this match down. This is 2 women. Caitlyn versus Maxine. If you look that up on YouTube, it's one of the sweatiest turds you've ever seen in your life. They're just going in there because I said so. Alicia Fox. Yeah, both of them.
Boy, Alicia Fox was going to be one of my honorable mentions. Alicia Fox always made me so nervous because her ankles are like the size of toothpicks, and I was like, well, that girl's going to cripple herself. And she
Say
never
that
did.
in a Scottish accent.
Alicia Fox almost went in there because her ankles are like toothpicks. Sean Connery, her ankles are like toothpicks. But I was always like, man, how is she not hurt though? Every time.
There's one moment that I'll never forget with Alicia Fox. I don't know who she was wrestling, but the wrestler was laying on her stomach, and Alicia did like a diving leg drop, and then grabbed the lady's leg and lifted it, and told the ref to count.
Yeah,
I'm like, bitch, the shoulders aren't even on the. What the hell is going on?
Yeah, and remember for a while before she got released or whatever happened to her, there was a while where she was just doing this bit where she wore big gaudy hats to the ring, and then somebody would like destroy her hat, and then like she'd freak out, and it was just really uncomfortable. Also, Alicia Fox was introduced to wrestling in a romantic angle.
I see.
With fucking Edge, and he cheats on she's like the wedding planner or whatever. So again, already a
J-Lo. Yeah. Tied with Alicia Fox, and I can't believe nobody said this one. I really thought about putting her in the top 5, but she didn't make it. Ronda Rousey. I think she is a steaming pile of dog vomit. I think she sucks, dude. And she's dangerous. I'm more worried about Ronda Rousey hurting somebody than Nia Jax. Just saying.
Well,
just saying.
That mixed tag match with her.
She never took it serious.
Angle.
She never took it serious.
And Triple H was outstanding. Probably the best.
I like that mixed tag match.
I went back and watched it because I saw somebody saying something about it, and it was good. You know,
there's some stuff I didn't put it in my top 5. There's some stuff I like that Rousey did though. There's some stuff I liked. She did a lot of dangerous shit too, though.
I find that irredeemable. Yeah. Kind of like what you would say about Nia Jax.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel that way about Ronda.
She is a dangerous worker. I don't know. There was some stuff I did. Janky King is. Y'all remember when Sable powerbombed Mark Romero? Yes, yeah. It was great.
You even mentioned that.
I did mention that. I think it's the highlight. I think it's the highlight to Sable's career, honestly. I don't know.
Out a bunch of kids for Brock Lesnar is pretty exceptional too. Yeah. He's quite a bit bigger than the kids.
I'm glad.
So those are all my honorable mentions that I wish I could have put in the list. But so here's number 5, Lacey Von Erich. Bad. Yeah. Very, very, very bad. The beautiful people. I think that was what they were called in TNA.
Yeah.
Watch that and try not to puke.
It's pretty bad.
And she disgraces the Von Erich name, and it's fucking sad because most of them are dead.
And most of them were great in the ring.
Yeah, they were incredible.
Like, great.
Yeah, she's pretty shameful. It's borderline treasonous.
Yeah. Number 4, Jackie Gata. Like Chris, I think Jackie was just a turd. Let's see. Kelly Kelly is my number 3. Yeah. Nothing good about that piece of crap. Sable is my number 2. I think she really, really was bad. And my number 1, my number 1 is it's a TNA. And if you haven't heard of her or seen this, she used to be on Survivor. And some genius over at TNA thought, hey, let's get this Survivor winner. I don't even know if she won. and cash in on this broad. And so they brought her in. Actually, I'm not even mad that she's my number one worst. I'm actually kind of happy about it. It's her and Awesome Kong and I don't know who else, a couple other people, and it's back when it was a 6-sided ring, and she comes in stiffer than a board. She looked like she's drunk, is what she looks like, and it is just the worst thing. Like, man, it's so bad. It's unforgivable, and so she will forever be known as the worst ever.
This makes me think, though. I wrote down best and worst angles. We might have to eventually do best and worst celebrity involvement.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because I didn't want to put her in my top 5 or even an honorable mention, but boy, the stuff with Snooki was so hard to watch.
Yeah, when she left all that.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Jesus.
And then what's his face? The Britney's old man back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kevin Federline.
So we might have to do a best and worst celebrity involvement, because there's been good ones though. So I mean, we could talk as much shit we want about. And I think we have for years, not just us, but I mean just in general, like David Arquette. But David Arquette has a serious love for the sport. There's a reason why he wanted to do it. He was a huge fan. So,
have you seen him wrestle?
Like
Colt
now?
Cabana?
Oh yeah.
The last 5 months or 4 months?
Yeah, David Arquette is genuinely seeking a wrestling career right now.
And he's jacked. He looks great.
Really?
Yeah, he looks great.
Yeah,
he's all tatted up. He's got big old kids.
In shape with your hole.
Yeah,
dude.
It's great.
Him and Colt Cabana is great. Watch it. It's fucking great.
He's genuinely trying right now, which is cool. I don't know. So there's good celebrity angles. I also like the Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman stuff.
Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. So there was good celebrity involvement, and then there was bad. And I think we should do best and worst of that as well. Maybe we'll do that after angles.
Stephen Amell, bro.
Oh God. And it wasn't Stephen Amell that heard it. It was that you could tell Cody Rhodes just absolutely hated the Stardust thing.
Wasn't sold.
And so you could tell he didn't want to be there, And even though I still think Cody Rhodes got Stardust over.
He did the best he could, man. He did the best he could.
He got it over.
And I liked it as a Goldust fan just because I'm a Goldust fan.
I thought he was funny.
I love the Rhodes family. So why wouldn't I like it? Yeah, I love that shit.
I don't know. I didn't hate Stardust. I thought it was funny. I think Cody is super charismatic. Even
your cheeks are getting a little red there, Derek.
Even
you
with
got
the
crush
lisp.
on Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. Well, even with his little lisp,
I love the way you say your S's.
When he's on announce, you can't even really hear the lisp.
Really?
It's interesting, yeah. He sounds very different.
He should shoot for that more often.
Yeah, these are good top 5s.
Well, his dad had a lisp.
That's true.
Yeah. That's why I never Dusty had never made one of my tops. Kings and queens. We love them all. The American dream.
Zach says he has a crush on Cody. I do too. I think Cody Rhodes is fantastic.
You want to give him kisses on his American Nightmare tattoo?
Has he gotten the rights to his own name yet, or what?
No. WWE re-upped on the fucking copyright.
That's so petty.
I know, right? Wednesday Night War. Wednesday.
That's so petty.
There was something I saw today about ratings, and AEW is 6th in that 18 to 49 male bracket that they're shooting for, and NXT is like 38th. So that's where that's at.
Chris Jericho is the demo god, right?
Yeah.
Remember the demo god? I love it. I love how he still wears that fucking jacket to the ring too. He still wears that $7,000 orange stained jacket. I love it.
Yeah, I love Jericho.
I miss light-up jackets. Those were the best.
I do too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I also miss the list, man. The list was so good. One thing that he did bring with him to AEW that he did in WWE though was the stupid idiot stuff, which I love. You stupid
dumb
idiot!
you ass! You dumb ass!
Oh man, he's great. All right, should we do Wrestler L?
We shall.
Okay.
Did you want me to do it?
Yeah, you
I
got
can
it.
do it.
This is all you.
All right.
Yeah.
I thought about doing Luna Vachon, but we had so much about her last time.
Yeah.
We went pretty deep into Luna Vachon, so I did a quick lookup of Luthez, and he is something else.
Yeah, man.
He had 6 world champions titles, and 3 of them were the NWA title, and he had a total of 10 years as champion.
Luna, bro. Luna Vachon. We went deep in there.
Go deep into me, Derek. I'm Luna Vachon.
That's really good. That's actually really good. But you got to be more on the camera. They got to be more like. And she had those veins.
He's credited with inventing several moves. The German suplex, of course, the Luthez press, the STF, and he was the first person to do a power bomb.
Wow.
Yeah. This is all stuff I didn't know until an hour ago when I looked this up. He is just something else. Luthez. And if I have looked up some of his matches in the past, and just look on YouTube. There's some amazing stuff with old Luthez. And I get why Stone Cold used that Luthez press to punches, because man.
Where was Luthez mostly at?
Everywhere. He wrestled everywhere. He dropped out of high school at 14 and learned how to wrestle at a different high school because his dad knew the wrestling coaches. And what did they call him? I saw something in Japan. There it is. In Japan, Thez was known as a god of wrestling and called Tetsujin, which means Iron Man, in respect for his speed, conditioning, and expertise in catch wrestling. So he wrestled in Japan, he wrestled in Mexico, he wrestled in the United States and Europe. He was a world traveler, and
that's pretty cool.
Really something.
Pioneer, man. Pioneer.
He's got a huge...
Pioneers and the settlers, man.
Delaware.
Wikipedia page. But yeah, what a guy.
We're in Delaware.
Magically whisked away.
Oh, I could do that. I could take us to Delaware.
To Delaware.
Here we are.
Hey, I'm in New York.
Delaware. We're in Delaware now. How you doing? I'm in Delaware.
Hey, I'm in New York. I got a gun. Let's go to a Broadway show.
Sadly, he was really, really bad at marriage.
How many wives?
He had 3.
Okay.
3. The only one that jumped out at me was his second wife, whose name is Freda Huddleston Winter. And I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. Didn't know that until an hour ago. That was pretty cool.
No relation.
Maybe.
No, that's a good choice for L.
Yeah.
Boy, I can't believe how fast we've gone through this alphabet though.
Yeah. M. Oh, we should probably do Fabulous Moolah next week.
Really
Who's doing M? You doing him?
I think it might be my turn. I think I finally have to take one now. I'm gonna do a good one this time though.
Right on.
I was thinking about M today, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to pick a good one.
I'm sorry that wasn't up to my usual snuff, but I didn't know I was doing it tonight.
That's okay. No one did. We talked about it earlier, and then nobody acted on it. It was good. No, I really enjoyed it. I think this is the time of the show, though, where we can play a song and play us out. I got a good one, though. I think I'm going to keep using this for an outro, because it's fucking cool. Still one of the best entrance themes.
Yeah. It's an all-timer.
Here he comes, Gangrel!
I think Vince didn't like him because he's chubby.
Roast him, shut up, fat ass.
I don't like him because he's fat and a vampire. Thank you, everybody, for watching the show this week. We will be back next week as well. We're excited. We're back at it. I'm going to watch some wrestling now. I am finally back into getting caught up and watching some stuff, which is exciting.
It's been a weird few weeks.
Great idea keeping the recap short, though. We were able to really get into our top fives. Great idea. Next week, best angles of all time. I think that's a WWE, WCW, and AEW, whatever you want to do. I think that's across the board, best angles.
Best angles.
I don't know if I'm going to stick to just WWE on this one. I might go a lot of WCW on this one. Because I think there were some really good angles in the beginning there. I can think of one of them specifically that I definitely will take. I think there's a lot more worst that I'm really excited about. Per the usual.
There's some solid worst.
I think, isn't that the thing about wrestling that is the fun thing, though, is that we love wrestling, but there's so much bad, and bad is fun to talk about.
Yeah. And bad is when people who are not fans end up tuning in.
I know, they watch the only episodes they've ever watched of the show are the worst ones.
So something's going to come out of the egg? There's going to be a wrestler that comes out of the egg. Is that what you're telling me?
The gobbledygooker?
That's got to be on somebody's top 5.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Also, the Yeti. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching the show. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Thursday.